Welcome to Our Hometown, the show where we take an in-depth look at some of the people and organizations that make this area unique. This month we'll speak with Mayor Walt Eccard and Rachel Johnson from the town of Shallotte, who will share information about the 2014 Shallotte SummerFest concert and movie series. Then we'll speak to friends of Kyle Jones, a late detective with the Brunswick County Sheriff's Office. They'll be putting on their second annual Memorial Golf Tournament in his honor, and it's an event you won't want to miss. Finally, we'll speak with Dean Bennett from the Turfgrass Management Program at BCC. So stay with us for the next half hour as we explore our hometown. My guests are Rachel Johnson and Walt Eccard. They're with the town of Shallotte. Welcome to our show.
Jim, it's great to be here.
Yes, thank you.
Now, I know what your capacities are, but our viewers may not. So tell us what you do, each of you, at Shallotte.
Sure, Jim. I'm the mayor of Shallotte.
And I'm the media and events coordinator for the town.
Shall I call you Mr. Mayor?
Call me Walt.
Thank you, thank you. We're here to talk about the Shallotte SummerFest and Concert Series, starting fairly soon. Tell us a little bit about what the series consists of.
Sure, Jim. I'll start, and then Rachel can give any additional information.
Sure.
This is, I think, our 5th year of doing the movie and concert series. We do it at Rourke Park in Shallotte. And we have a combination of both concerts and movies, and with the movies designed for families with small children. And we always start the season on Memorial Day weekend, Sunday Memorial Day weekend. And I think Rachel can just maybe tell you a little bit about some of the exciting things we have for that special day as we remember our veterans and the sacrifices they made.
Well, let's talk about that, Rachel.
Mm-hmm. On Memorial Day, the event will start about 4:30, and we're very excited. We have the U.S. Army Ground Forces Band from Fort Bragg coming in.
Fantastic.
It'll be their rock band called the Loose Cannons, and they put on a very exciting show, so that should be really fun. We also have a guest speaker, retired U.S. Marine Corps Gunnery Sergeant Chris Cavanaugh will be speaking with us, and then we're going to fire a cannon. We'll have Civil War reenactors there to give us a little bit about the history of Memorial Day, and we're going to fire a cannon in tribute to all of our American heroes and all that have given all their lives.
And we'll get the details on screen, but what time is it?
It's at 4:30.
At 4:30 in the afternoon. Mm-hmm. I'm a veteran. I'll try to be there.
Yes, good. We'll count on it.
Thanks. We're talking about a series of events that continue through the summer into the late August months. Tell us generally, why do you do this?
Well, Jim, the Board of Aldermen at the town of Shallotte decided back around 2008, when the economic times were difficult, that we wanted to provide some entertainment options for our citizens that were free, that were family-friendly, and that would add some enjoyment in people's lives. And we've grown it each year. This year, after Memorial Day, we're going to have events every Thursday starting July 3rd. I think we have five concerts and 3 movies. And one of the exciting things about it is the last movie we're having, which I think should be great fun for the families. And maybe Rachel can tell you a little bit more about that movie and what she has up her sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
Please do.
Yes. To conclude this series, we're going to have a flashback movie night, and we're going to show E.T. So it'll be a good time for people who remember the movie from the first time around to enjoy it, and then to introduce it to a new generation. And
for young and old alike.
That's right.
I remember.
Yes, and there'll be Reese's Pieces there.
That was a great movie.
Yes,
I really remember that.
And in our first movie, there's a lot of excitement about that too. It's Disney's Frozen, and that's won quite a bit of awards this year. And
tell us generally about the times of the events.
The concerts will start at 6:30. Mm-hmm. The movies start at sunset, because obviously we're outside and we have to get the right amount of darkness. So it's usually around 8:30, but it just depends on when it's dark enough for the movie to start.
Sure. And I think I know just where the location is, but let's tell our viewers.
Right, it's Rourke Park. For those of who aren't exactly sure of the name of the park, it's right off Main Street, and it's sort of across the street from Jerome's, exactly.
What do you think the series brings to the community?
It offers the community a chance to have a free event and to come together and have entertainment, and it's a chance for them also to enjoy downtown Shallotte area. And Mr. Walt, is there anything else that...
Yeah, I think two things, just building on what Rachel said, Jim. One, with focusing on the movies particularly, we deliberately choose, and as you heard a couple of the titles already with Frozen and E.T., movies that really are family appropriate.
Right.
And it is a joy on those evenings to see the families with small children and the children running and playing together before the movie starts. And we usually have some treats there for them. And it's a lovely venue outside. And we just like to see the families having some enjoyment. And the concerts are fun. Some of the bands that we have are very, very popular, and we get 400 or 500 people out for those.
Well, you build a sense of community.
And we, as Rachel said, we do want to get people into downtown Shallotte. We are on the cusp of, I think, some very significant positive changes for the town. And we want to support our merchants, and we want people to be downtown.
Yeah. Now, all of the events are free, am I correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. Can you recall a few of the groups that you have this summer?
Sure, and it's interesting. We've got groups that we've had before that draw very well and are very popular. For instance, the Band of Oz is a band that people love to hear, and we have Jim Quick and his band, which is also very, very popular. I think we're having Sea Cruise, is that right?
Sea Cruise will be the first concert in July, so that'll be a neat event. So we're also going to have our farmers market from 4 to 8 that night, so both events will be right there together.
Excellent.
Excellent. And then we have some new bands this year that the town has not had before. We have Blackwater Rhythm and Blues, and they're very excited, and they've already and they've already asked if they can play longer than they were supposed to. So that'll be a fun show. And we also have Hip Pocket Band, which there were a lot of requests for them this year.
You have a number of vendors that will be joining you for these events, am I right?
We do, yes. The July 3rd, we'll have the farmers market open from 4 to 8, and then in addition to that, we'll have each of the events. We'll have Dixieland Kettle Corn there, and also Sunset Slush. And Dixieland Kettle Corn's a lot of fun. They pop the kettle corn right there, and they have old-fashioned drinks, cheer wine, and things like that. So it brings another element. And then also some of the farmers market vendors may be making appearances throughout the concert season.
Yeah. Well, the two of you have painted a really good picture of what these events are like. On the other hand, I understand you're doing some things differently or adding to your program.
Right, Jim. A couple of the changes that we alluded to earlier, but I'd like to emphasize.
Please.
In past years, we have staggered our series so there's an event every other week, which is sort of hard for people to keep track of. Is this a week that there's an event or not?
Right.
So we've deliberately this year changed that so that beginning on July 3rd, every Thursday there's an event, which will make people just know if this is a Thursday, there's something going on.
Right.
The second thing we did, and I give Rachel a lot of credit for this, with our Memorial Day celebration, bringing in an Armed Forces band, which they're a lot of fun anyhow, but it just really keeps the event focused on Memorial Day, on our brave young men and women who serve this country and those who've paid the ultimate price. So I think the whole tenor of Memorial Day is going to be very exciting and very patriotic.
I'm sure. How do we get information?
You can call the town at 754-4032. You can go to our website, which is townofshallotte.org.
Right.
We're also on Facebook, which is a new thing for the town.
Good.
So all of the concerts will
Exciting.
be posted there as well. So.
Yeah.
I think also, Jim, we will. We've been working with the county, and I do want to give the county great credit in coordinating not just our events, but the events of other towns. And we will be having, with their good help, brochures printed, which we will have distributed throughout the town and in the area, so people will have something they can also look at in addition to going to the other media outlets.
It's a great event. It's a great contribution to our larger community, and we thank you, Mayor Walt Eccard and Rachel Johnson, for being with us.
Thank you
again.
so much, and
Yes.
thanks for having us, Jim.
Thank you. We have three very special guests. To my immediate left is Mark Jones. The nice lady between these gentlemen is Phebie Alderson. And on the far end, Woody Dunn.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for being with us.
Thank you,
Thank you
sir.
for having us.
You have a great story to tell. We're here today to talk about the Kyle Jones golf tournament. And I know that each of you was close to Kyle. And I want you to talk for a second. I want our viewers to know a little more about Kyle Jones. I know that he passed away a year and a half or so ago. Am I close?
Yes, sir.
And I want you to tell our viewers a little bit more about Kyle, please.
Well, I'm Mark. I'm Kyle's brother, and Kyle was 41 when he passed away. Passed away suddenly. He was with the Bruns County Sheriff's Department. He was with the detective with him. Woody and him worked together, and he was a police officer for 19 years. Just a wonderful, wonderful person. He was a great brother. We were very close. Loved Mom and Dad very much. He was a very faithful husband to Lisa. And most of all, he was a great father to Reed, who this golf tournament is for, us to benefit her college education. He was just a fantastic person. If you knew Kyle, you were good friends with Kyle. He was like everybody's buddy. And we were best friends. Even though we were brothers, we were best friends. We grew up together. And he always gave back to people. I mean, he loved being a police officer and helping people, and he loved being a detective and helping people as well. And he also coached. He coached baseball, coached basketball. He was an excellent athlete at West Brunswick. He made all conference in basketball and baseball when he went to West years ago. So he also played football. I could go on and on about my brother, how wonderful he was.
He touched so many lives here in Brunswick County. I remember him well.
Mm-hmm.
But Phebie, tell us some of your recollections.
Well, I've known Mark and Kyle basically all of our lives because our parents were together. Their dad and my mom were together for 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
So,
More like 30.
yeah, 30. So I've known Kyle, grew up with he and Mark and their family.
What do you remember most about it?
A jokester.
Yeah.
Okay.
He loved to keep something going. There was never a dull moment around Kyle, because he always liked to make people happy. He didn't like anything to be sad around him.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But he's very, very loving and caring person.
Yeah.
And I'm like Mark. I could go on and on. He's touched a lot of people in the community.
So many.
And
So many.
he loved his family and friends.
Yeah.
He was a true, very loyal friend.
Yeah.
You could always count on him.
Oh, yeah.
What do you tell us about the Kyle that you remember?
Like I said, Kyle and I were like brothers also. I mean, I know him and Mark were, but we worked together all the time. We were together 16 hours out of the day. When we first went to Darlington, I remember he and I, we went to Darlington, and I just got a camper. And said, let's go to Darlington to the race. So we went down to the race, and it started out as a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday thing. Saturday we'd come home on Sunday. Well, after that first time camping, we said, well, we're going for the whole week. So we'd go on Monday, we'd take off work, go Monday through Friday, and just have a good time. Then, of course, the families will come down on Friday. It would just be me and him that week, and he loved to sing karaoke. And he would.
Is that right?
Oh, yes, Lord. And he, I'd be sitting there cooking for us. He'd marinate everything. So, all right, will you cook for us?
Yeah, you're the
waiting.
cook, right?
I was the cook.
Yeah.
And I would cook for him. And also, I started looking for Kyle, and he'd be gone. I'm like, what in the world? And if I would listen, I'd hear karaoke going on around the campsite. I was like, I know where he's at. And if I would go to that campsite, he'd be up there singing on the mic.
How about
He'd
that?
just singing.
One of you or all of you or others came up with the idea of having a golf tournament. Am I right?
Yep.
Yes.
And is this the second annual golf tournament?
Yes,
Yes,
it
sir.
is.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about it for a few minutes. The particular details. We want our viewers to know. Well, when is the tournament?
It's Saturday, May the 31st
Okay,
at Farmstead.
right?
Shotgun start at 8:30. Registration starts at 7:30.
Okay. All right. I'm truly a duffer. And are you going to have everyone from the really great golfers to my range of golf?
Well, if I'm playing, yeah. I mean, I'm terrible, so.
All right.
And I won't be playing this year.
Everybody.
It's a fun tournament. It's the main thing is that Kyle always loved to have people together. He just loved that. So it's just to keep his memory alive, and then of course, 100% of the proceeds go to his daughter Reed's college fund.
Right.
Who's actually starting to play golf now.
Yes.
Will she
So
play
she
that day?
hopefully she will.
Hopefully.
She might do the driving range. We'll see. She did the driving range a little bit last year, so.
For those interested, can they form a team and pursue some of the prizes that are available?
Yes, sir. We got several businesses in the community have donated a lot of prizes, some very nice prizes, and I got a feeling a lot of people will be very glad they won some of these prizes, some really good ones. So yes, sir, we're gonna have a lot of
That's
prizes.
great.
It's four-man captain's choice.
Okay. That's good to
I
know.
believe you can set up where you can go online and register early if you would like to. I believe you have that set up.
And we'll have all the online information on our screen
Right.
as we move forward.
And there is mulligans and all that stuff. You can buy all kinds of stuff.
I'm mulligan.
Got to have mulligans.
Got to have mulligans.
It's a family time too. I mean, we'll have kids out there. I mean, I'm sure they'll be able to go putting and stuff like that and everything on the putting greens and
Right.
everything. So
Right.
it'll be a fun time. It'll be fun.
Now, you've answered this question in some respects, but let's do it again. What does the tournament mean to each of you? What does it mean to you, Woody?
Remembering Kyle, remembering his life, being around friends like he liked to be, and just enjoying our day,
Right.
enjoying time.
Yeah. Any other thoughts?
Just keeping his memory alive and really, knowing that this is going to help my niece and his daughter. I mean, it's a fantastic to help her go to school and go to college and everything later on, and to keep his memory alive and to let that little girl know how much her daddy loved her.
Absolutely.
As long as it's not Carolina.
The camera may not catch, but show us. There we go.
Yeah.
KJ, right?
Kyle Jones.
And on the back, because I had a chance to take a look, it says "You are always on my mind." Right?
Yep.
Yep. And he is.
He's always on our mind.
It's always something that, just like this day was at baseball practice, and he was a sheriff's office deputy. The car he used to drive was a Burgundy Crown Vic.
Yep.
And yesterday we had a foul ball, so I went to get it. I looked over there, and sure enough, there was a Burgundy Crown Vic sitting right there. I was like, wow.
And for me, Woody bought Kyle's truck, and he coaches baseball and I coach softball, so we always park at the same spot for the coaches. So
Yeah.
whenever I pull up there, I always touch. We got a little badge on the back, memory of Kyle and all that stuff. And every time I go back, I touch it and I say, "I love you, brother." So that was his truck. So it's just really cool.
And because I work at the courthouse and I remember Kyle, I didn't know him well, but I remember him. I wish our viewers could appreciate the impact that he's had on hundreds and several thousands of people here in the county.
He has. He lived a great life. He didn't live a long life, but he lived a great life.
Contact information.
We have a Facebook page set up with all the information. You can contact us through Facebook, or you can call 910-233-6333 or 910-754-3866.
All right, let's have a full house for your golf tournament.
Yes, we hope
I know
so.
you will, and we wish you so well. thinking of Kyle Jones. Woody, Phebie, and Mark, we thank you for being here.
Thank you,
wish
sir.
you all the best.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
My guest is Dean Bennett. Dean is the Director of Horticulture and Turfgrass Management at Brunswick Community College. Dean, did I get that right?
You got it right. That's
Pretty
good,
close
Jim.
anyway.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks for being with us.
Appreciate you having me.
You guys have a great story to tell, particularly about turf management, and that's what I want to talk about today.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about what turf management really is.
Right. It's really an international field. You know, people think about riding mowers and digging holes, but there's so much more to it than that. So we start at sort of the more glamorous side of the field with golf courses and sports
Right.
field management, but it goes all the way down to public and private garden management, residential, commercial landscaping.
Sure.
If you think about it, you look around, everywhere you see turf grass. It's on the roadsides, and that's all we're talking about is managing that turf grass species.
Right.
The species all have different requirements, and in addition, different desires from the end user. Sometimes we want to play a game on them. Other times we just want to drive by them on the road. So
Right.
we have to accommodate what we're doing based on what the use or the purpose is.
Now, the program's been around for a few years, and I know you have a lot of great success stories.
We do.
Tell us about a few of them.
Certainly. So the neat thing about our students is they're vary in age and in desire and what they want to do. And so they come into this program, they think they have some interest in horticulture and turfgrass management. They want to explore that opportunity. And so we provide a pathway for them, basically, to accommodate their goals. And so when they come in, we start basically introducing them to the industry and to the opportunities, the career opportunities, if they so choose to go that route. So we have students that are in 7 states. Our graduates are working in 7 states across the United States, including North Carolina, all the way to California, Southern California, to
Wow.
Maryland, to Morehead City, to Miami. And those students are on golf courses. They're in working with irrigation companies, public and private gardens, landscaping, those types of things. So some specific examples I think that are exciting, just because we're sort of in the middle of professional golf season and we look at PGA sanctioned events, we have 4 graduates or students that are working or doing internships on courses that are on national television.
Let's mention those courses.
Absolutely. Okay. We have an assistant superintendent that's down in Miami at Doral,
Right.
and he was just recently, early March is the tournament they're kind of making its way through. And then moving to Augusta National, we have an intern who's doing a 12-month internship there at
Great.
Augusta National, which is just a great opportunity.
Great.
And it's neat to see all the other students texting him, checking on how he's doing, but they're not allowed to bring phones onto the course, so he has to get back to us late in the evening.
Right.
And then we have another student that is getting ready, coming up at Pinehurst for the U.S. Open, back-to-back men's and women's.
Right.
And he is training now to be a crew leader for the summer to do his internship there. And then we have another student who's a volunteer, and he'll be volunteering at Quail Hollow next week.
Those are great stories.
Absolutely. It's
Now,
neat to see.
We would expect that there's a healthy dose of academics, but let's talk about the fact that you have field trips, you have a lot of hands-on
Absolutely.
endeavors. Let's talk about that.
Absolutely. It's a very hands-on industry. We want people to make sure that they want to work, that they like it, that they love being outside, and that they can meet folks that are in the industry, the professionals, the positions that they're going to once fill in the future.
Right.
So we take, I'd say about 30 field trips, probably 28 to 30 in a 2-semester time period, so from a fall and a spring semester. And those might involve a conference where they're actually sitting at a table listening to someone from NC State that's a specialist in an area speak on a subject. It might also be out to the first tee where they're operating a fairway mower unit and a greens mower unit. It might be to Pinehurst or East Carolina University, our local golf course here, where we try to set it up now, and we've got great support from the industry, where the students not only go on the field trip, but there's something to do while they're on the trip instead of just standing around kind of watching someone do something else. So very hands-on, from gardens to plant ID, to soils, to operating equipment, and it's our firm belief to get them out in the industry.
Now, we talked about some of the students that are out and about in some of the great courses,
Right.
but let's remind our viewers that so many of our students remain locally.
Absolutely.
Can you talk about that?
Sure. We have right around 70% of our students stay in the local surrounding counties. And that's very important. That's obviously a big part of what the community college is about. And so it's important to us. Many of our students have families. They have ties here already. They want to stay. They love the area. And so we do everything we can to promote and build this area. But so let's remember that it really is from Brunswick County all the way internationally. There are opportunities. Anywhere people have enough money to eat, they are interested in horticulture.
Let's stay local for a second and talk about the great relationship that you and your students have with the First Tee.
Absolutely. The First Tee has been a great partner, starting back with Mike Reeves, prior president of BCC. Really got us involved. In fact, made us come out, and that was great. And I'm not sure I should say it, but we now have the code key, to the gate. So I think that's all.
You're one of them. You're a regular.
That's right. That's right.
Great.
And they've just been a great partner. So the students, Jace, the full-time faculty member that works with me, our Turfgrass instructor, takes students out there all the time. And it actually keeps us from having to build and maintain golf greens on our campus because we have a limited staff in the summer and they require very intensive maintenance. So we can go out to the First Tee. They have 4 putting greens and 2 fairways, and so we get out there, they can mow them. If we accidentally scalp something while they're learning, there's no pressure. There's not a 200 golfers coming behind us, and the superintendent feeling the pressure of that. So those local partnerships are really critical to our success.
As a part-time golfer myself, let me ask you a technical question.
Okay, sure.
Do you, 5 or 10 years from now, do you see that the grasses used on our greens around the country will be different or much the same?
We're seeing it now. So you're seeing a major conversion from bent grass greens to ultra-dwarf Bermudas. Bent grass is a wonderful putting surface. Certainly, it's a cool season grass, so it does very well up in the Northeast. But the golfers, that's what they're used to, that's what they like. It is so difficult to manage here. In the summer in particular, it is struggling, and so it's a lot of extra labor and money. So these ultra-dwarf Bermuda grasses have come out of research at various southeastern universities.
Okay.
And it's a surface very similar to bent grass, but much, I won't say easier to manage, but it handles the summer much better. And so we're seeing folks understand that there's a cost, there's an input, both in our resources and in our labor, and that Bermuda grass, the technologies have improved, the cultivar selection's improved. So we're getting turf species that are equally as adaptable as bent grass, but much hardier and tougher.
Great.
Yeah.
Let's remind ourselves that this is a business.
Absolutely.
And you have industry partners, and you work with your students for them to know that it is a business, not just a recreational endeavor.
That's right. I think the important thing to understand is there are a set of skills that apply to any profession. So sometimes it might be as simple as our students understanding, hi, my name's Dean Bennett. It's nice to meet you, sir. Those just basic things, handshake,
Absolutely.
eye contact, resume writing. But we try to expose them in our classes and on field trips to that idea that there's a budget and this person is managing a budget. They have to make decisions within that budget. They have to manage people. They have to manage personnel. They have folks above them to answer to. Most of us do, whether they're customers or clients or a superior that's above us. So how do you manage that?
And while these students may be hands-on in their early years, they will evolve into management positions sooner than they probably know.
Absolutely. And we'll only have them for the time they're in the program. So we have to begin teaching those skills.
Absolutely.
And helping them understand that if you don't have to be a crew member your whole life. This is an entry-level opportunity, and if you do these things and follow this path, there will be opportunities that open for you.
Dean, it's been an interesting interview. Tell us very briefly about yourself as we conclude.
Sure. I'm addicted to plants. I've loved them from a young age, even before I realized it, and have a degree in another field in marketing. And my wife is the one that helped sort of redirect me and helped me realize I could make a living with plants. And I've been in the field. I've been here in Brunswick County 13 years at Brunswick Community College and in the field for 20. And I love it. I can't think of anything I'd rather do.
Well, you're one of those individuals that has found something that you love to do and work with every day.
When I get up in the morning, I like it.
Dean, thanks so much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us this month on Our Hometown. If you have a story that you'd like to share on a future show, visit us at atmctv.com to tell us about it. And thanks again for joining us. Tune in again next month as we explore more of our hometown.